everybody, it's Kelly here from Craft and a Cuppa, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a solid granny square. You can do whatever you want with these squares once you've made them. You could go in a blanket, or my favourite thing ever, a sweater or a cardigan. So yeah, let's get started. What you're going to need is some yarn. I'm using DK yarn, but you can use whatever yarn you wish, as long as you match your hook as well to suit the yarn. So I've got DK yarn and I've got a 5mm hook. Also got a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle for weaving in ends when you're finished. Unless you're putting loads of colours into it, then I suggest you weave your ends as you go. Then you don't have that many to deal with afterwards. Right then, let's get started. I'm going to take my yarn. I'm going to make a slip knot. Put that on my hook. And we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to join it to the bottom of this chain with a slip stitch, which will create a loop for us to work into for our first round. And there we go. And you need to find the centre of that loop. It's like a little hole in there. There it is. Just got to make sure you don't go back into your chains rather than the loop. But yeah, it is in there. Have a little wiggle about. Right, so now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do 2 double crochets into this loop. One, 2. Now we're going to chain 2, and that's going to make your first corner. Now we're going to do 3 double crochets back into this loop. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to do 2 more chains to create the second corner. 3 double crochets back into the loop. 1, 2, 3, 2 chains again to make your third corner. And now we're going to go do 3 more double crochets back into this loop. 1, 2, 3. Now you need to make sure that you've got 4 sets of 3 double crochets. Your first set is going to consist of the chain 3 that you've done at the beginning. That's going to class as 1 double crochet. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's what you need to make your square. So what we're going to do now is chain 2, and we're going to join that to the top of the chain 3, so the third chain from the beginning. I'm going to go straight in there, and then we're going to make a slip stitch, and that's going to join it together. What I tend to do now is just turn it round, and I grab this little bit here and I pull it nice and tight to try and close that hole. There you go, look at that, look. And that's the first round of your solid granny square. I'm going to stick with the same colour for this round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my work to avoid a wonky square. So we're going to turn the work around, and we're going to slip stitch back into this first corner chain space. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets back into this corner chain space. Or actually, technically speaking, we're going to chain 3, and that's going to be your first double crochet. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That's your first double crochet. then we're going to do 1 double crochet. Sorry to be a bit confusing there, but that does class as 2 doubles. Right, so we've got 2 double crochets in there. Next thing you're going to do is you've got 3 stitches here. We're going to go and put a double crochet in each of these 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and that's taken us to the second corner. We're going to place 2 double crochets in this corner. 1, 2, going to chain 2, and we're going to put 2 double crochets back into this same corner. 1, 2, and then repeat the process again. A double crochet in each of these 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, which brings us to the next corner. 2 double crochets into this corner. 1, 2, chain 2, 2 double crochets back into the corner. 1, 2, double crochet again in each 3 stitches. 1, 2, oh, I just missed that one there. There we go, get back in there. 3, 2 double crochets back into this corner. 1, 2, chain 2, 2 double crochets back into the corner. 1, 2, and then the last bit, 3 double crochets in these 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. You might have to have a little wiggle round for this last one because you did do a slip stitch into this corner chain space, and it might make the last stitch a little bit tricky to find, but we're in there. And then this is your last corner, which has already got your chain 3 from the beginning of the row and your double crochet. So all you need to do is place 2 double crochet, oh, just lost that, 2 double crochets in this corner. 1, 2, chain 2, and then slip stitch to the 3rd chain. Oh, the top of the chain 3 that you made right at the beginning. I've done mine a little bit tight, look, I had to wiggle that in there, but that's okay. Right, it's starting to form a bit now. So repeat that process again. I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to slip stitch back into the corner chain space. I'm going to chain 3, which will class as my first double crochet. I'm going to do a double crochet straight back into the same corner, and then we're going to place a stitch in every single one of these stitches, and if I'm correct, I believe there's going to be 7, so we just count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Always good to count as well, because if you don't count, that's how mistakes can happen very, very easily. I know it's always annoying when you're trying to count and then someone talks to you and you're like, I'm counting. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which you're back at the corner chain space again, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets in that corner chain space, chain 2, 2 more double crochets back in the corner chain space, which creates the corner for this round, and again 7 stitches to put double crochets in. Remember to count: 1, 2, 3, 3. I better count quietly really, just in case you guys are counting. Count it in my head. Back at the corner again, so 2 double crochets in that corner chain space. Oh, hang on, that one got a little bit twisted. I'm just going to undo that one. Put my hook back in there. It's one thing I love about crochet. If you go wrong, it's just so easy to fix it. I tried doing knitting when I was a bit younger, and I couldn't figure out what to do if I went wrong. 1, 2, so all of my work had lots of random holes in it. 1, 2, so we just did 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all in that same corner. And now we're going to do a double crochet in every stitch along. Yeah, I would love to learn knitting again. Maybe I might understand it a bit more now that I've got my head around crochet. Oh, I missed that bit again there. I'm being a bit clumsy tonight. That's right, there's no rush though, just take your time. Right, back to this corner again, 2 double crochets in the corner chain space. Chain 2, 2 double crochets back into this corner chain space. We're on the last side now. Always definitely good to count this side because you've got that little stitch at the end which is a bit hard to see where we slip stitched into the corner. So 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then wiggle it in that last one, 7, and then back to the final corner where we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, and then we're going to attach it into that 3rd chain from what we made at the beginning of the row. The top of the chain 3 is what I like to call it. Slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 to join. We've got 3 rounds here. Now I was going to do 4, but what I am going to do for my last round is change colour. Very, very easy. I'm going to show you how I do it. I mean, other people might have another way, but this is how I do it. So I'm just going to pull that a little bit long there. I'm going to get my scissors. Just going to snip that off. I'm just going to grab that loop and open it up. I'm going to take my end. I'm just going to pull it through nice and tight to knot it. Right, let's get my second colour. I've just got to change it on my yarn genie. Got brown. I mean blue and brown. They do go nicely together. Let's plop that on there. Right. So just the same process as when we started. I'm going to make a slip knot onto my crochet hook in brown. Attach that on there. I'm going to take my granny square. I'm going to turn it again because that's what I would have done. If I'd have stayed, I would have turned and then I would have slip stitched back into there. So I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to start in a random corner, not the same one that I finished in, because I like to keep a nice straight square, and this is a good way of doing it. Just going to go in this one, don't matter which one, I'm going to go in this one. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my yarn with a slip stitch. So I'm going to put it in this corner, push my hook through, find my end of yarn. That's my tail, don't want that, get rid of that one. I'm literally just going to do a slip stitch. And then here we go, chain 3. 1 DC back into that corner. 1 DC along every stitch. what would it be now? Is it 9? I think. No, is it 9? No, I don't know. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 11. I should have known it went up in 4s. Look, it goes up in 4s. There we go. Right, 11 stitches across then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which brings us to the next corner. And again, same process, 2 double crochets. Oh look, I've done it again. My goodness. Just rewind that part, or pause it, or fast forward, whatever you want to do. Right, here we go. 2 double crochets in the corner. Chain 2, 2 double crochets back into the corner. I've got part of my dog attached in there. Don't know if anyone else has got any furry friends that they seem to crochet their hairs into. My dog molts everywhere and he's in all my projects. I swear he is, bless him. Right, here we go, back across 11 stitches. I'm not going to count this time because I don't want to put anyone off if you're still following where I'm at. So I'm just going to be quiet. Right, back to the corner. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the corner. Just going to keep repeating that process all the way around. Hang on, I've not quite gone through that stitch properly. Almost there. Last stitch for me, and then I'm back to this corner chain space again. 2 double crochets in that corner chain space, chain 2, and then slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 to join. Just going to snip that off. Pull that through there to make a knot. Pull that one a bit tight as well. Always good to give that one a little bit of a tighten. And there we have it. Got a few ends to weave in, but there we go. What I tend to do if I'm changing colour especially, and if I'm changing lots of colours, I always keep this little tail in the centre, and I always say, right, that's the back bit, leave that in there, And then as I'm going along and I'm changing my colour, I'll weave this one in, weave it all in, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll change my colour, and then I'll weave in brown, then I'll change another colour and keep going like that. But I always make sure that I weave all my ends in on the same side as this little tail, and then I know that that is my back side, but as I call it, the wrong side. And then that will be classed as the right side, not the white side. Can't get my words out right again, look. But there we go. How to do a solid granny square. Thank you. Bye.